Well, hi there, crafters. This is Juanette, and thank you for joining me today as I work on my journal for the year of 2021. I will predominantly be using Stampin' Up products. Now, this is the front of the journal, and I will decorate it at the end because the front, if you decorate it too soon, it can be quite cumbersome. So we'll do that at the end. Now, before we start, I want to thank a couple of people for their comments. Lynn Martin in the UK, Sherry Barncastle, who lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the USA, Christina Hicks, who is in Australia, J. Katie Mack. She didn't tell me where she's from, but hi. And then a new subscriber, Joanne, and I'm not going to even try to say her last name because I know I will butcher it. However, it is spelled Urquart. Thanks for joining my channel. Now, as we work on this journal, if there's anything that you see that you would like to purchase from Stampin' Up, there's my 24/7 online store that you can get any of the products at. Now, if you recall, the first one or the first page we did was this one here with the dragonflies, and we finished it, and now we're going to go over to the next side. Now, if you recall, I did the binding in the Midori style, and what is so nice about that is you're able to remove your pages and work on them as you need. Now, one of the products that we're going to be using in this page layout is from a card kit, and it's called Gorgeous Posies. So we're going to be using several elements from that kit. The designer series paper I'm using is called Hydrangea Hill. And then the ink we're going to be using is Old Olive, including the light and dark stamping blends. Now, if you recall, it was a couple of weeks ago we made this beautiful paper using the gilded leafing flakes. And so we're going to put some of that in our project, and that should be fun. We're going to make a pocket out of that. Now, the stamp set we're using is the Quite Curvy Stamp and Die set. I don't believe I stamped anything, but I did use the leaf from the die set, and you'll see that it not only cuts out some leaves, but it also embosses it. So we're going to pull those products together and start designing this page. Now, one of the other products we're going to be using is the Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate. Now, we've already used the gilding flakes, but this is going to tie it all in together. And that was in our mini catalog, which goes from January to June 2021. Now, if you recall, our page that we're going to be working on is actually a piece of grid paper from Stampin' Up. And it actually is quite thin, so I want to strengthen that up. Now, the page is 8.5 by 10.5. So I want to mat that. So I will be cutting a piece of designer series paper that is 8.25 by 10 inches. So this paper is from the designer series pack called Hydrangea Hill, and this is just one of the back pieces, and now I have finished cutting it to, what did I say, 8.25 by 10 inches, and I'm going to adhere it to that grid paper with my Beacons 3-in-1 glue. So I have a funny story to tell you guys. So the other day I was watching one of my all-time favorite YouTubers, and her name is Gail Gostinelli, and if you get a chance to watch her, you should, because she is fantastic. But anyway, she accidentally bumped her camera while she was filming, and it showed her torso and her pants legs. And you know, I was watching it and she apologized for it, but I started laughing to myself because I thought, if I do that, you're going to see me in my flannel pajamas. And I even wrote that in the comments section to her. Well, at least you were dressed. So I am helping to smooth that cardstock down by using my Cricut um, little doohickey, or you can also use a bone folder, whatever you have. So now that I have matted my base onto my scrapbook page, I have cut some of the acetate, and this measures 4 inches by 9.5. And what I did is I cut off these at an angle, and then I'm going to cut out an area with our circle punch. This is the 2-inch circle punch, and I just sharpened it with aluminum foil. And what you have to do to cut out acetate, you have to lay a piece of cardstock over it. Otherwise, it kind of chews it up. So what I'm going to do is just lay my acetate, my cardstock over the top of it, and then take some low tack tape and tape it down so it doesn't move on me. And then take my circle punch, and I'm going to just cut out a small little notch so we'll be able to remove the tag easily. So just kind of about halfway there. And then that cuts that acetate very easily. See how nice that is? So that's a little trick or tip for you guys. And then I've added some double-sided tape. This is just the 1/8 inch on 3 of the sides. And I'm going to remove the backing off of that. Now the back of this acetate is silver. And because one of the cards that I'm going to use from that card kit, and I'll show you in a minute what it's going to be, it's got gold in it, and that's why I'm using the gold side. So the nice thing about this paper here that I've laid down is it's got some like grid lines, so I know, and if I do it like this, it'll be easier for me. Sorry, guys. I'm going to just lay it up against, I think about there, right on that line. And then that gives us our pocket here. Okay? So we can slide something in there. Now, I'm going to make a tag to slide in there, and I'll tell you what the measurements of that is. So the tag is 3.5 by 8 3/4. Now, the back of it, of this paper, is too solid to journal on. So I'm going to put a piece of this on the back of it, and then we can journal along here. So I'm just going to glue that down. And then what I've done, because I want to journal about a gift that a friend gave me. Apologize for having to stop and reach for it. It's a beautiful plaque called Willow Tree, or from Willow Tree, and it's Forever True, Forever Friends. Isn't that beautiful? So I have that in my craft room. But what I did is I took a picture of it, and it was on the background of this paper, and then I matted it on some of this paper. And so I want that to be on the tag. And then this little piece came with the piece itself, so I'm going to put that on there too. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I will be able to journal over here about receiving this gift. So while I do this, and to put this down, I have some vellum tape runner, so I'm going to put it down with that. So I'm going to turn off the camera so you guys don't have to watch me do this, and I'll be back again in just a sec. So I told you I was going to use part of the project kit of the Gorgeous Posies, and this is everything you get. You get this gorgeous box that closes like that, and then in the box you get envelopes, you get card bases, you get matting pieces, you get cutouts, die cutouts, you get labels, you get this gorgeous ribbon. And I'm going to just kind of bring it all in just to show you how much ribbon you get. I mean, this is a lot of ribbon. Look at it. It just goes on and on. That's a lot of ribbon that you get. And then you also get some of the twine, and then you can keep the box at the end. So just, oh, fantastic. And everything coordinates with our colors. I'm going to put this off to the side because I am going to use some of this ribbon, this white and gold ribbon, to make a tag for this journaling card. So what I've done is I've trimmed off the edge, and I want it to be right there, but I want it to be double so that it really, oh, maybe I want it kind of pulled. No, I'm going to just have it double. So that's where I want it to be. And then I'm going to fold it over because I want to know how far I want it to stick out of my journal. So probably about that, not a ton, just so you can grab a hold of it. So then I'm going to just hold that there and take a pair of scissors and trim that off. And then I'm going to tell you how long of a piece I got. So it looks like maybe 2.5 inches around that. Then I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm going to first glue it down, and oh, I can see it ravels. And I've got some, let me trim this off again because it is raveling pretty bad. I have some fray glue that I'm going to maybe put on here. It'll still be long enough. So I'm going to put the camera on hold and bring that fray glue in, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, this is what I bought. It's called Fray Check Dritz. And I bought it at my local Joann's store. And I've never used it before, so we'll see what it is. I don't know if it's a glue or what. Let's see what happens. If you guys have used this and you like it, let me know. I gotta take off my glasses because I can't see. Maybe I have to poke a hole in this. Oh my gosh. Oh, it looks like I have to snip off the edge, the tip. Going blind here, can't see a thing. Let's see if there's a hole in there. Nope, looks like I should, like I said, I've never used this before, so, oh my gosh, now I can't get that thing in there. Okay, let's try to trim off a little bit more. I don't want so much off that let's see if some comes out here. Oh my gosh, what the heck do I have to do to get this? Okay, while I fix this problem, I'm going to turn the camera off. Okay, I finally poked a hole with a 22 gauge needle. Okay. Oh, I hope this doesn't ruin my ribbon. If it does, I have more. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each side to try to keep it from fraying. And then just set that down to dry for a minute. Oh, it's seeping everywhere. Is that gonna... I'm gonna leave that there for a minute and come back with you guys and we'll see what we're gonna do to fix this. Okay, so now the fray check has dried and I think it's good. I think it came out nice. So I'm just gonna, oh no, I don't want to trim it because then it's gonna make it fray again. Oh, Hewitt. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is lay this over here and I'm gonna take my Fabri-Tac and attach it, but I'm only gonna put glue on the edges of the white so that it doesn't show through on that little real sheer area. And so I've already folded it in half. Make sure I have enough. I overglue, I know I do. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out because I know it needs to be right on that blue flower. So I'm just going to lay that down. Oops, I want to make sure that I don't go over the little seam there. So just like that. Oops. Bring it in a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And that'll dry, and then that will give us a nice tag to pull our journaling card out with. And I adhered those two edges together so that it gives it a little bit more stability and a little bit more strength. Yeah, that's going to be great. So I'm going to just set that aside for a minute and let that dry. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to bring in, like I said, that paper that we made. And I want a little tuck spot here because I'm going to have a journaling card here. Okay, so now I want to make a pocket to fit a tag in over here. So I'm bringing in the paper that we made using the gilded flakes, and I've torn it to about 2.5 to 2 3/4, like 2 3/4 down here, and it's about 2.5 here. I want it to be little tattered look, and the length of it is about 5.5. And so I want you to see, now if you look here, do you see how that looks compared to that? It looks a little bit better if you bring in a little bit of a darker color ink and just ink up your edges ever so slightly. It just kind of makes it stand out. And then I'm going to adhere this down with double-sided tape because it is a different texture. I just want to make sure that it adheres well, and I'm not sure how it will go if I use glue, but I like that. That is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. What I'm going to do is put double-sided tape on the back here and here and here, so my tag will slip in there, and then I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so now we're going to carry on with our tag for the pocket. So the background is 7 1/4 by 1 3/4, and then the layering that will go on top is 1.5 by 7. Then I took this die from the Quite Curvy stamp and die set. It's this set right here, and I ran it through the white, and if you look real close, there is some embossing of the leaves and then also some cutouts. So what I've done is I've gone in with my old olive, and I've just kind of gone in and colored a little bit of the inside of the leaf, then around the edge of both of them. This top part and the bottom part. And then I think I want the leaves themselves to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow, and again, also a little sponge dauber. And all I'm going to do is sponge on this cardstock a little bit, just to bring in a little bit of that darker color underneath those leaves. What would be good if I used our new blending brushes, but I've already pulled this out, so this is okay. I just want it to be a tiny bit darker than that bottom layer. Let's see what that looks like when I lay that on. Yeah, you can see it a little bit, but not a ton. That's all right, though. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down on top. Is everybody doing okay? I hope you are. I have about 1 more week of vacation, rats. I mean, I do love my job, but I love staying at home crafting and not having to get up and go to work and do night shift. But I do like helping bringing those babies into the world. Helping those little mommies that are really about the age of my daughter. And I just always think about her. She had fantastic labor and delivery nurses. And so I really try to do my best for these little gals so that they remember the birth of their children, which they're going to anyway, but so that they remember, like, oh, my nurse, she was so nice. She helped me out so much. That's what I want. So I like that. That came out good. But I might want to add a little bit more. Let's bring in our journal and see what we want to do to add to it. So here is the journal. Okay, and I went ahead and added this piece into the spine. So this was the one we did last time, because when I glued this down, I wanted to make sure that I had more than enough room over here for the page to be able to flip back and forth with. So let's just slide this in and see what else we need to do with that. Now that fits nicely. That's fantastic. I need something a little bit purple here, and I might need to add something on the tag itself. I need to look at it a little bit. So I'll be back with you in a minute, but it's coming together nicely. I do like that. Okay, so I've decided what to do. So I'm going to put a little hole here and then take some of this, I think it's called eyelash trim. That's all these different purples. Oh, yeah. Let me look and see if I have any green. Yeah, I do have some green. So I'm not sure if because there's a lot of purple in this sheet, on this page. I think I may need some green instead. So what I'm going to do is, this is, I think, what did I say? It's 1.5 inches long, just the white piece. So I marked with a pencil 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to just come in here with this little hole punch here and punch it out. And then add a little bit of the Highland Heather, or no, it was the Old Olive ink around it. Let's pull this out. Just add just a tiny bit around it. Yeah, so it's not quite so stark. Oh, and you know what I can do instead? I didn't need to do that. What I can do is, I have these hole reinforcers, and I have, there's silver, copper, I'm not sure what color that is, but this is the gold one. So I'm going to just add it here. Oops. I'm going to add one on both sides. And then take some of the trim and tie it through there. Let's see here. Do I want the green? Or the purple? Oh, there's a little piece just laying there for me. Okay, it's the purple, because that's the one I pulled out. So this is a little bit tricky to work with because it is so many strings. So you just kind of pull it through And then I may trim off just a tiny bit. Ah, dummy me. I could have used that. That was in the card kit. Oh well. Next time. Okay. I do like that, but it is pretty long. Okay, I'm going to trim off a little bit here. Oh, it's got some of that blue in there. This is fantastic. As I'm looking at this, look, it's got some of the blues in there, the purples. Oh, this was perfect. Okay. And I will throw this in my little scrap bin because I will put it on a snippet or some kind of a little thing. You know, want not, waste not, want not. Okay. Now, what do you think? Okay, I'm about through with this page. So one thing I added was this little gold dot. We do have them in the catalog. They're called gold glitter enamel dots. And then the other thing from our little card kit here, there are some die cuts. So I pulled off 3 of them, and then I inked around them with a darker ink, what's it called? Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to just add 3 of them, and then we're going to call this done. This journal page done. So I'm going to put one there. I think this turned out really nice. Now, as we turn the page and we start on another page, we will do a completely different color scheme than the purples and the greens. So while those dry, let me just show you. So we've got this nice little pretty tag here. I might put some white paper or white cardstock there, just so we can journal on it if we need to. I love our paper we made using the gold gilded flakes there. And then we have this beautiful pocket here in which we pull out this tag, and I've journaled on there the gift from my friend Demis, gift from good friend Demis Jackson. It is a beautiful wall plaque from Willow Tree. It is displayed in my craft room to remind me of our wonderful friendship. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please craft along with me and make a journal. It doesn't have to be a Stampin' Up! Journal. It can be a journal for your children, for yourself, documenting your year. We're going to close this page, close the book, and then we will continue with this next week. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Bye.